Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. Ooh. You good, Homer? You good? It's more important than any ride cymbal, stick choice, head choice. Most important tool that a drummer needs. Coffee choice. Very, very important. Alright, let's start the show. Welcome to an episode of Real Swing, where we talk about some jazz drumming and other kinds of drumming as well. We're going to be talking about how to play some really nice, tasty swing today. Now, the most important thing whenever you're playing like a really nice, laying down a nice swing pattern for you to play on top, and for people to dance, and for people, to drink beer too. You can't drink beer to bad swing. You gotta have good swing for you to drink good alcoholic beverages too. There's a foundation in all of swing music and jazz drumming, and that foundation is the basic triplet. That good old ride pattern there, that spang-a-lang, ding-a-ding, whatever you want to call it, that pattern is based on a triplet, right? It's 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And that's where that pattern comes from, right? It's basically a triplet pattern. But once you start playing without that little snare drum in the middle, you gotta make sure that that triplet still exists. When people hear you play that pattern, people have to hear that there is actually a triplet underneath. If you start playing like and you start playing some really cool, like 15, 16 time signatures and stuff like that. It's cool, but it doesn't quite fit with what everybody else is playing. So you want to really make sure that you get that triplet, nailed down. And one of the exercises that you can do is to play exactly that pattern, right? You can just play the nice little 4 on the floor on the bottom, and then play that little pattern on the snare drum together with the ride. 3, 4. Get out faster, a little bit tempo.
Jazz.
And over time, your muscles will sort of remember how to do that, so that when you start playing all your other shit, you still get this swinging ride pattern going. And as long as you keep that foundational triplet in there, everything is going to sound A-okay. A-okay. Now, once you've established the triplet, there is, however, a little bit of wiggle room that you can play, right? Sometimes you can play triplets a little bit tighter. Sometimes you can play them a little bit looser. Now this tends to happen a little bit naturally once you start playing a little bit up-tempo as well. What happens is the faster you go, that space between the triplets starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That starts to become really difficult to play that triplet, right? So if I start taking up the speed, you'll start to realize that that little triplet pattern starts to, smoothen and flatten out a little bit. then sometimes what happens is some old school jazz drummers, what they would do is whenever they're playing these slow tempos, and they want to keep the little bounce going a little bit even more, especially when you're playing with a larger ensemble and you've got like 65 horns that you need to keep in time. Some old school drummers, when they do these nice little swings, they'll kind of tighten up the triplet a little bit. They just kind of string it together, almost like a little 16th note. So then it gets a little bit more bouncy, a little bit more nice of a pattern. So. Now that is arguably like getting close to 16th notes, kind of a squeeze, but it's essentially still a triplet. And it actually sounds great once you're playing it with other instruments as well. So as you can see, there's actually a wide range of things that you can do with the triplet. You can stretch it out, you can squeeze it together. But I get a lot of questions from drummers asking, like, how do I master this skill of stretching and pulling accurately? Right? Because if you go from a little triplet beat, like a shuffle beat, you can go all the way tight. And that's like a 60 note. But you can loosen it up. Until it's almost an 8th note, then you can flatten it out there. Right? And then that rhythm gets really. There's a word for that kind of like a really stretched out rhythm. It's a really stanky rhythm. Yeah. And there's a reason why that word is used, and that's the technique that I want to share with you guys. If you want to really learn how to move around the triplets, the secret's really in the face. We have studied all the jazz greats. You notice that the face is the tool that is used to dictate the method of playing. All the best drummers do it, all the best bass players do it, and the reason why it's called the stanky rhythm is because you gotta do the face like it's something really stinky that you're smelling, and the stinkier you smell something, the stankier the rhythm gets, right? So for instance, if I just play a nice little shuffle here, there's a normal face shuffle. Right? It's simple, sounds exactly like the triplet. Right now, if I tighten and squeeze it up a little, you see my finger. I can feel my whole inside squeezing a little bit. And then you get a really tight kind of a rhythm. I'm sure it's useful somewhere, and you got to make sure that you don't do that kind of an exercise if you're not feeling great over here. Preferably not after you've had a really huge cup of coffee.
Jazz.
But yes, stank. Oh shit, Homer fell down. But yes, stank face. As you can see, the moment I start, really incorporating the stinkiness into my face, you'll find that the drumming gets even more stanky. So you start out here. Start smelling something. I gotta take a break from that. Oh, that smelled so bad. So remember, it's all in the face, right? You have to control your beats, you have to think about it, you know, you don't have to do anything. It's all just in the face. Just control the face, control the swing.